Hello makers, today I'm going to just do a very quick card. I hope. You know I always say that. Anyway, but my plan is a very quick card using some super fun stamps and outline dies from the Sassy Club. So they have these really fun hitchhiking ghosts, hatbox ghost, and the Tomb Sweet Tomb, some bats and tombstones. So I am going to be using those, probably just one of each on this card, and I'm going to fit it into the Doombuggy. And the Doombuggy also has matching dies that also go with some of the figures from the portrait gallery. So they have that, and then some small versions of the hitchhiking ghost if you want, and then that frame that is around the Haunted Mansion gateway. So super fun stuff from the Sassy Club. So I'm going to be pairing those with the tapestry embossing folder, 3D embossing folder from Tim Holtz and Sizzix. And I'm going to be doing a technique that I did earlier this year where I used some of the black heavy stock, distressed black heavy stock. And I just cut a piece that will go on the front of my card. I emboss it with this, and then I color it with the wilted violet, but in the distress oxide. So I'll be doing that so that it kind of looks like the Haunted Mansion wallpaper in the background, and then I'll just have my Doombuggy, one of my hitchhiking ghosts sitting in it. And these are going to some friends that I am shipping something off to, and so I wanted to send them, they are fellow Disney folks, and so I wanted to send them a fun Disney inspired card to go with what I'm sending them, which is also Disney. So let's go ahead and get started making. Just a reminder that when I do this, I'm doing the back side, which is the most of the flat is facing up, and the delicate detail is actually depressed instead of being pushed up. So I'm going to take my wilted violet distress oxide, and you just hold it down and you just run over it, and look at how the detail kind of comes through. I love this. It's so relaxing and satisfying to just go over this with pad to paper and have that show up. So good. Now, obviously, the detail is not delicate like it is when you use the other side. And that's fine because I want this to be Haunted Mansion-y and not too delicate. So I'm okay with it not being as detailed. And then I just sometimes, to get some of those, a few more details, I use the corner of my pad and just go down in there. There we go. And that's it. Isn't that great? So fun and satisfying to do. Now I will show you, just for the fun of it, this is the raised side. And if you gently went over it, see how you can get those raised areas, and there's more black. And this isn't how to do it if you want it perfect, because you're going to have some detail that you're going to miss, and you're also going to have some of this get down into the other areas. But that's not even, that's still really cool looking. So you can see the difference there in the two, and I felt like this looked a little bit more to me like the Haunted Mansion wallpaper, and that there wasn't as much black in the Haunted Mansion. So that's why I chose to do it this way instead. And you can see the difference. And I just like that it gives you two different opportunities to, make with this one folder. I have my stamps in place on a half a sheet of distressed watercolor cardstock. I used most of the images from the Ghost Hosts stamp set. And then I just pulled, and I'm not sure if this is it, but I'm pretty sure this is it. This is the Doombuggy. So I pulled it, and I believe that I need to stamp the Doombuggy twice, because when I was looking at the die, you have the outside here, and then you have the front. So I think I worked it out so I can keep everything on a half a sheet if I cut one Doombuggy stamped this way, and then if I flip it, I can get the bottom, or I can just, you know, position the bottom portion here since I won't need the top for the second one. So I can fit all of them on a half a sheet, and I'm not going to use all of these on both cards, but I wanted options, so I'm going to stamp them both and probably watercolor them both. I have everything colored and die cut. I didn't use my Gina K tip, and I kind of wish I had done that, but I was just thinking, oh, I'll just put them all on that half sheet because I could fit all the dies on and cut it. But, you know, I've told you I like that tip from Gina K because I don't get things centered. And so, see, I didn't get this one centered, so I will have to cut around that with my scissors because I can't take it. So, and I will probably do it on a couple of other things. I've already done it on these for the most part. I'm going to have to do it a little bit more on this outside before I will be able to send it. I just can't. So anyway, some of them turned out okay. Like this one's pretty good. But this one, if you look at it, see, I got it clear off to the wrong side. So it's not even. So totally frustrating to me. I really should have gone with the little Gina K tip so I could make sure that I got it completely centered. But that's all right. You know what? Because why? You send the card anyway. Even though it's not perfect, you send it anyway. And I'm still having fun. So I'm going to sew around my card fronts. I have my card bases made, so these will go on there with a little bit of a reveal. This will go on there. I'll be putting my little guys in there, and these are going to definitely make it in the on the card too somewhere. One of each of these I have to have, and then I will also have a few tombs here and there as well. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. And so let me sew, and then I will just start assembling and figuring out where I want everything. After I sew around the outside, I didn't do really much messy stitching there, but I trimmed extra bits of thread off, and I'm kind of, you know, wadding them up into like just a messy bunch and laying it over the stitching. And now I'm going to just messy stitch over that back and forth with a straight stitch. I didn't do any of the normal zigzagging that I do. And then I'm making another ball for the other side, and I'm messy stitching back and forth across that one. And now I'm just kind of trimming. I don't trim that fast, it's much slower. So I have this, I did speed it up. but I just trim slowly and get some of the hanging bits off, and now I'm going to assemble. I just felt like these needed something up here for a little sentiment or something. And I don't need anything on the inside because I have the additional ghosts, so they didn't go to waste. And I'm going to be writing in there just a quick note. So I looked, and the stamps from Sassy have one thing that says, "Let's take a ride," or "You're invited." And neither of those really, I felt like, worked for the purpose of these cards. So I grabbed my Tim Holtz Tiny Text Halloween CMS 409. Has just a whole bunch of just little snippets of sayings from books and different things like that. And there's one that says "Aura of Foreboding," which is a line from the Haunted Mansion script. And so I'm going to be stamping that on some lightly colored, again, with the tumbled glass. So I'm just going to stamp it twice on here, trim those, and put it up here in the corner. All right. Well, my friends, here they are. I think that went pretty quickly, especially because I had the dies. Now, once I stamped the Aura of Foreboding, I double matted it, and I colored one of the pieces with black soot and the other I just left white, so that I felt the double matte kind of went with all the colors on the front. Then we have Ezra here in the Doombuggy, and inside we have Phineas and Gus, so I didn't let them go to waste. And then that left a little bit of room for me to write a note up just above them. Then we have our Hatbox Ghost in the corner with the two little tombstones. And on this one we have Gus riding in the Doombuggy, and Phineas and Ezra are on the inside. So I had so much fun making these. Thank you so much for following along. And I want to let you know, as always, if you have any questions, you can ask in the comments below. And I want to wish you a very creative day.